Welcome to Swarajya. My name is Sharan Setty. I'm an associate editor and I'll be hosting shows on this particular platform on a wide range of issues. Now, today, the Mailadurai Collectorate in Tamil Nadu has refused the permission to hold Pattina Pravesam on the grounds of alleged abuse of human rights and that it is bereft of basic human dignity. Now, Pattina Pravesam is a traditional practice where devotees carry the mud's seers on their shoulders while they're seated in a palanquin. Unfortunately, Tamil Nadu today has become infamous for banning rituals, targeted assault over one particular community, bullying young college going kids for wearing vibhuti, and forced conversions of Hindus. I'm joined by my senior colleague and author Aravindan Neelakandan for a conversation about this today. Sir, namaste and a very good evening. Welcome to Swarajya.
Namaste. I'm happy to see you here.
Thank you so much, and I look forward to our conversation. First of all, for our younger audience who may not be aware of what exactly is happening in Tamil Nadu, and keeping in mind the fact that there are certain political sections in Tamil Nadu which is already dubbing this on certain elements as uh, as pandering to attention mongering. So, how would you describe the entire controversy? Where did this all begin?
Actually, it all began long, long before, decades ago, when Karunanidhi, the father of present day Tamil Nadu Chief Minister, wrote a preface to a book that stated that Thiruvalluvar was a Christian. Now, after this book with this crackpot theory that Thiruvalluvar was a Christian was published by an eccentric author, the book became got enlarged to include Saiva Siddhanta also and was published as a kind of a thesis in 1980s. The book claimed that Tirukural, Saiva Siddhanta, Bhakti literature of Tamil Nadu all were actually influenced by and were a kind of corrupt form of Thomas Christianity. So this was a kind of direct assault on Hindu traditions of Tamil Nadu. This was challenged by Dharmapura Adheenam, the present Adheenam that is facing this crisis. Dharmapuram Adheenam was in the forefront in a very academic, scholarly, rigorous way, exposing the complete crackpottery of this particular Christian evangelical thesis. And he exposed it for the nonsense that it is. So, these people who had been doing this strategy of removing the entire Tamil culture from the pan Indian culture and projecting it as a kind of pro Abrahamic or proto Abrahamic and later converting it into Christianity. These people, they received a jolt. They see this Adhinam as a kind of an obstacle. This Adhinam very clearly states that we are Vedic Saivites, that Saivism venerates the Vedas, that it is part of the entire Sanatana culture. It is one of the core life forces of Sanatana culture. This particular Adhinam is very clear about it, and this Adhinam is an Adhinam. The institution is highly venerated by all the Saivites in Tamil Nadu. So,
This is right.
attacking this Adhinam is an important part of a larger strategy. Attacking means not just destroying the Adhinam, to tame him, to tell him that, okay, if you don't toe our line, we would be doing these things to you. So, this is one such thing, humiliating, kind of inflicting always this kind of small humiliations. And when you do that, at one point of time or other, the institution would weaken itself in its stand against this Dravidian Christian conspiracy to take over Hinduism. So this is the larger map in which this is happening.
It's very interesting that you say that because a few people have commented earlier today that these particular concerns have arisen particularly under Chief Minister Stalin, and it wasn't so much bad earlier when DMK was in power under Chief Minister Karunanidhi. How would you respond to that?
See, this is a kind of an evolution of this Dravidian movement. Ultimately, this is the aim of the Dravidian movement. It was waiting for
Right.
its time. Okay. So even Karunanidhi was going soft. Karunanidhi was seeing that he was a very, what I can say, a person who knows how to play his cards, how to strategize. So he knew that the time was not at right. So he was waiting. At the same time, he was also attacking the Hindu festivals and everything. He wouldn't directly get involved in this kind of things. So he would be playing both sides in a very safe way. He even went in for an alliance with the BJP. And when he went in for an alliance with the BJP, he almost talked the language of BJP. Okay. Now, if you take Stalin, he is right now, he is seeing BJP as the major rival force. The day is over when both ADMK and DMK were seeing BJP as a kind of a potential partner and then playing games. Right now, BJP is emerging as the major opposition, and these people don't know what to do. They don't know how to counter an energetic young person like Annamalai, who is heading BJP. So that is the political part of it. Already you have this ideological part of it, and there are forces within the DMK which want to wage a war against Saivism. It wants to destroy the core of Saivism. So both these are coalescing together, and they are seeing that let us attack the Adhinams. Let us create a separate Tamil identity, Tamil spiritual identity to counter BJP. So here you see
Right.
that a vested evangelical interest and the vested political interest both within DMK are converging together, and that is what you are seeing as a result. So I would say if the same situation, Karunanidhi was in the same situation, most probably he too would have done this. Let us not get softened on a person like Karunanidhi. He too would have done this. Stalin
Right.
is doing this. This is what DMK aims to do.
If we are to evaluate how this entire incident is boiling over in the media, now the DMK's political leadership is giving this a human rights angle, saying that, why in a civilized world, and these are not my words, these are the words of DMK MP TKS Ilangovan, who earlier in an interview said, how can a person be carried on someone's shoulders, and how is this even acceptable in a civilized world? So they're essentially attacking the roots of Hindu practices and traditions.
In the name of their suddenly found humanism. Remember, the Dravidian movement ideologically is a clone of Nazi movement. The Nazis have their Jews, the Dravidians have their Brahmins. The Nazis had their master Aryan theory, the Dravidians have their master Dravidian theory. And the Nazis saw Jews as the reason for all the problems in Germany. The Dravidians see Brahmins as all the for the cause of all the problems in Tamil Nadu. Okay. In fact, their ideologue C.N. Annamalai once said that remember this was after the Nazi horror has been exposed. What they had done, all that has been exposed. So I think it was around in 1950s. C.N. Annamalai said this. He said that if we could follow the strategy of Adolf Hitler and eliminate Brahmins, and if that would solve our problems, we could do that. It's not the point. He doesn't have any moral problem in adapting the methodology of Adolf Hitler. Then he said, but the real social reality is stopping us because the Aryan concepts are already there in all communities. So the only thing that was stopping Annamalai and the DMK stormtroopers from adapting a Nazi line was the social reality, the socio-cultural reality that is there in Tamil Nadu. Okay. So these people talking about humanism is essentially nonsense. These people are basically mimetic Nazi uh, clones. Okay, they are mimetic Nazi clones. And these
Right.
people talking about humanism is nonsense, number one. Number two, you can see this in every playground. In every playground, you can see this. Somebody scores a goal. What happens? The entire team members carry that person in an euphoria. No, that is a temporary euphoria, whereas in this case, it is a religious euphoria. It is a feeling of veneration. Okay, it is a feeling of veneration for the guru. Why? Because there a person has done something wonderful. He has got a goal. He has got something, a kind of an achievement for the team. So he is celebrated. Here we see the guru not as a person who is going to take us to heaven. Remember this. Here we see the guru as a person who is going to give us liberation, the knowledge that is needed for liberation. So when we are carrying the guru, we are celebrating the knowledge, right?
Right.
So here we are celebrating the Guru, whom we consider higher than the God himself in our parampara. It is Mada, Pita, Guru, and Deva, right? So here, Guru, a human person, is considered higher than God because he has the knowledge to lead us to liberation. Okay, so we are carrying the Guru, and are is anyone forcing these people to carry the Guru? Now, let me play the devil's advocate here. Okay, I will give you a detailed answer for this. Let me play devil's advocate here. Our constitution, okay, our constitution says something, that the religious practices should be subjected to public order, morality, and health, and to other provisions of this part. Okay, so public order, morality, what these people are saying is that it is against egalitarianism, it is against humanism. That is what they are saying. This particular practice can be against humanism if a particular caste person is telling a particular another caste persons to carry him. If that has been made mandatory, then we will join these people in fighting against this particular practice. Okay, if these people are paid and they are told that this is your duty to carry this person, okay, in that kind of situation, then you can intervene and say you cannot make pay persons to carry a person like this. Okay, that is a weak humanist argument. The first one is a strong humanist argument. Both are not so in this case. Here, people are voluntarily carrying the guru because they consider guru as the embodiment of knowledge. And in the purvasrama of this guru, okay, what is the varna or what is the jati that this purvasrama of the guru belongs in his purvasrama? Let me make it again very clear, this point. We should not look into the purvashrama of guru. We should not look into the jadi of the purvashrama jadi of a guru. It is a very ugly thing to do. Unfortunately, as we have been put in this ugly situation, we have to look into this. This guru belongs to, if we are to put him in this guru's purvashrama, the jadi belongs to, if we are to put into that particular category, we could say that it belongs to the fourth varna. So now you have a person who in purvashrama belongs to the fourth varna, being carried in the shoulders of the people because the people think of him as the embodiment of knowledge and higher than God himself in a way. Right? So, what can be more humanistic than this? What can be more humanistic than this? Right? So, in all these arguments fall flat. Completely, these arguments are meaningless.
You're right, and the only other allegation that is being leveled up is the fact that there are these people who are bringing this controversy out because they need attention, and I'm not particularly sure if I understand where they're coming from. But if you do, can you please respond to that?
Who is seeking attention here? The persons who are supporting the seer or the persons who are stopping the Pattina Pravesam? I told you about two motives for stirring up this controversy. One was that the evangelical motive. which is deep within the DMK's coda, and another one is the political motive. I will add a third motive. Now it is almost 1 year of this DMK government, which came with the tall promises. This 1 year, this DMK government has actually earned the ill will of people. No other government, even supporters of the DMK government have been saying that no other government has earned so quickly such a quantum of ill will from the public. Okay. So, in order to divert the attention of the people, most probably these people are stirring up these non controversies. And in that, they have done a miscalculation, thinking that stirring up this controversy would distract the people. They would start talking about social justice. Unfortunately, today people are well educated. They are well aware of what kind of games the DMK is playing. So, this has had the reverse effect of uniting all the Hindus and creating a kind of a Hindu political awareness. So, again, in this case also, nobody want any publicity from this. The people who are supporting this here, they don't need publicity. They don't need publicity. They are actually fighting for dharma.
You mentioned that there is a possible Hindu renaissance, especially given the recent events, whether it was with the suicide of Lavanya or Jallikattu, and a lot of other politically motivated controversies have actually united Hindus to a very large extent in Tamil Nadu. And slowly the political result of it is also bearing the fruits of it. We saw the public's response to the Tamil Nadu BJP president's address earlier today. What is the way forward going from here? Because these attacks are perhaps going to continue and perhaps will increase with time, especially given the fact that the BJP is rising as a political force in Tamil Nadu.
I think um, already this new leader that Tamil Nadu BJP has got, Sri Annamalai ex IPS, he has rejuvenated the party at all levels. Okay, and now this is a new BJP for new Tamil Nadu. Hindus are at last finding a political party that is ready to take up their issues, not just in terms of voicing, but in terms of action. That is an important thing that is happening. Now, we need to consolidate this Hindu unity that is coming up. At the political level, definitely BJP is going to benefit politically from the Hindu unity. But we need a longer strategy. One of these strategies is that I look at my own district, my own Kanyakumari district. The reason there is always, whatever may be the political situation of BJP, BJP may win here, BJP may lose here, whatever it is, there is a solid politically aware Hindu vote bank. So no
Right.
political party can actually play with the feelings of Hindus in Kanyakumari district. Okay, they would try to divide the Hindu votes, they would try to consolidate the Christian and the Muslim votes, but they won't play with the feelings of Hindus. That happens in other districts, that happens in the other provinces of Tamil Nadu. The reason is because there is a phenomenon called religious classes. There is a network of religious classes in which the children get the basic fundamentals of Hindu culture, Hindu religion, and Hindu history. Very importantly, all these three, not one thing, not just Hindu history, not just Hindu religion, not just Hindu culture. Get all the three, their formative ages. Because of that, we have created a population of, and that population is getting sustained, population of Hindus who are politically aware. If we can create this kind of a core politically aware Hindu populations in a sustained way in all the districts through network of religious classes, then we will be able to Hinduize the politics. That is the most ultimately our aim is not BJP winning, or it is not BJP winning or getting defeated or whatever. It is not even defeating the DMK or ADMK or Congress. Our game is to Hinduize the politics. So to Hinduize the politics, we have to make sure that we make the Hindus get sensitized to their Hindu nature. in Tamil Nadu. And that is what we have to do in the form of educating the Hindus, creating cultural literacy for Hindus in Tamil Nadu.
Arvindanji, before we wrap up, I'd like to ask you, addressing the crux of the controversy that's there right now, what is the way forward? What are the local authorities planning to do? And what options do Hindus as a community have to resolve this and continue the tradition which has been going on for 400 years now?
See, right now, DMK is in the position of the proverbial monkey that moved that particular thing in the tree. Um, so right now, DMK is trapped. Okay, if they are going to go ahead with this particular ban, then there is going to be a confrontation. And in that confrontation, the DMK is going to emerge out, whether they are losers or winners, they are going to emerge out with bad optics. If they are going to revoke this, there will be minimum damage for DMK. Nevertheless, there will be damage. In both the cases, there will be damage, but there will be minimum damage for DMK. So, what the DMK can actually do is, if not Stalin, it would be good if Stalin himself comes and apologizes to the seer. If not Stalin, at least some senior DMK leader should come to the seer and should apologize for whatever had happened, and they themselves should carry the palanquin on their own shoulder. That would minimize the damage in a very big way. I'm actually right now giving a recommendation for DMK's political benefit. Okay. So the point here that the thing is, this has created unprecedented Hindu unity in a very big way, particularly from the traditional Hindu institutions. Okay. Centuries old traditional Hindu institutions have come together like never before because of this particular miscalculation and the misadventure that this Dravidianist race is tried. So the way forward is just like what happened in Ayodhya. We have to do the Guru Seva. There we did the Kara Seva. Here we have to do the Guru Seva, and we have to carry the seer, defying the ban. And if they want to avoid this confrontation, the DMK should come forward, and the DMK leaders themselves should carry the palanquin in their own shoulders. That is the way forward.
Thank you so much for joining us today for this conversation. It's been absolutely a pleasure talking to you. And I hope we can continue this conversation once we hear an update from the government on what it has to
Sure.
say regarding the protests that are going on. Thank you so much, Karunanidhi. Have a nice day.